Yeah, what's going on?
Not much, man.
Get this thing.
Just gonna set up your shot here whenever you're ready.
Yep.
Hey, Bruce, you got me? Perfect. Yep. Just let's get a little bit more to get that catcher's mask and chest protector in your shot. All right, cool. That's good right there. And then, can you tilt up at all from there? Let me see. Perfect. All right, hang tight real quick.
You got it.
Let me set this up. All right. Flux capacitor flexing. Boom. You're in. There you go.
Cole, Bruce, how's it going?
Good.
What's going on? What's up, Bruce?
How are you doing, Cole?
Hey, Bruce, I'll stop bugging you a little
How
bit.
about you,
Just
Bruce?
tilt back down if you can. I'm almost done with your
Alrighty.
shot. So just cut off that vent off the top if you can. A little bit more. Sorry to be picky.
Yeah.
No, it's still there. Kind of went the other way. Can you go any more down just to cut off that vent?
I'm gonna try.
Thank you. Perfect, right there. It's perfect.
Oh, come on,
Winning.
Len. You shaved the
Yes,
beard.
please.
What are we doing?
Hey
I thought you were
guys,
keeping it.
Yeah.
I thought you were keeping the beard, man.
I got a little too mountain manish, so I'm starting a
Yeah.
new one. How are you
Len, how's it
guys?
going?
Good.
Excellent.
Then, Lane, can you tilt down a touch if you don't mind?
Down?
Yeah. Perfect. And let me see real quick. Slide a touch to your left. Yep.
Is that good?
Can you physically slide a little to your left? Just a touch?
Well,
Or if you're trapped at,
I'm a little
that's fine.
trapped.
So let's move the camera the other way. So show me a little.
You
Yep,
want
right
me
there.
to-
Perfect. That's perfect
Okay.
right there.
So, Bruce, everyone called Eldred salty. It's pretty much,
Yeah, I never heard of him as Eldred.
yeah, okay. Len, do you know where that podcast is going to be available? Just
Where?
everywhere? Yeah.
I'm
Which-
guessing everywhere. Yeah, they
Yeah.
haven't really officially announced it, but I've been talking about it. So I think they're going to announce it the day they release it. But yeah, it'll be like Apple Podcasts and all the usual places.
Yeah, I figured.
Cole, did you see
Len, are you a pop?
JD's
Go ahead.
ultimate lineup?
I did not.
He went with
What
all old guys. The
did
most
he?
recent guy on the list is Ernie.
Wow.
He went Kai, Kyler, Hornsby, Hack, Banks, Wilson, Cavaretta, Sauer, Hartnett, Pete Alexander, Mordecai Brown, Bill Nicholson. That's funny.
I would peg that lineup for Bruce's ultimate lineup.
Hey,
Like that one, Bruce?
It's a
I had
cold-
Camp Hansen in my lineup.
Yeah, I
True.
mean, I didn't. I thought you had to stay in the last 100 years. That's how I looked at it. That's why I didn't go back to Tinkers, Evers. I mean, Mordecai Brown would have been the ultimate choice from what he did in the dead ball era.
I tried to cover all of the eras.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like recency just got the better of me when I was piecing mine together. And even when I was putting guys there, I'm like, I know I should probably go a different direction, but just for the fun of the drill, I'll go this way.
Hack or Santo or Bryant, that's a reach.
Hack, yeah. Well, I think that the JD's literally was like pre 1960 or whatever.
Yeah. And
Just
he did a
because
nice
everybody
job.
else wouldn't.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
third base. Third base is a very strong position. Center field is not. Shortstop is not. Catcher really isn't beyond the top two or three.
Tells you there were a lot of bad teams over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, that was the strongest era they had. I mean, between 29 and 38. There's some great players, great teams.
Like I went with Aramis at third. Now I know he's not a Hall of Famer like Ron Santo, and he's never won an MVP like Chris Bryant. But I feel like for a lot of years, when everyone was talking about, Scott Rowland is by far head and shoulders the best third baseman, it's like he's pretty daggone good. But Aramis Ramirez, I'll take him if Scott Rowland doesn't pick up the phone.
Well, also it's one game. You're not picking
Yeah.
the best of all time. You're picking to win one game. He's totally defensible pick.
I mean, that's why I went with D. Lee
Over.
too, because
Yeah.
I feel like if you want someone to hurry up and jump on you, those guys, that lineup gives you a chance of hitting a few over the fence.
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Can you slide a touch to your left, if you don't mind? Just to center up.
Look very dressy today. Speaks. What's going on,
Yeah.
man? You got your hair combed a different way
Buttons.
almost. It's like almost we don't even who is this guy?
The wife was going to chop it off last night, and then we got scared. Like, what if it's a real butcher job? And we got to give it a couple of days. So
What about your hair?
she'll try it today.
I heard the Falobi's making a
That's been,
comeback. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Bruce, that's been emotionally chopped off for decades.
I know, for all of us.
I saw your lineup, Cole. I think you and I are the only ones who have that catcher.
D. Ross.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a tight game at some point. Guys are going to think, oh, man, I only have one game. We have to win. We have to win. I need somebody very calm and reassuring and solid on my bench.
Yeah.
Guy who hits
And I
180.
didn't see Gabby Hartnett play. Yeah, well,
Whoa.
I know, Len, you're longtime Gabby Hartnett guy. You always have talked about him.
Yeah, you can have your team 247 on base percentage. I'll go with my team 398 OBP.
What's going on, Matt? It's Andrew.
How are you,
Good.
Andrew? I'm good.
Any guy there with a
Why
friend.
didn't you go Tony Campana and left? He can steal a base.
Well, and then I could sing
Cincinnati
about it
Bearcats.
too.
Friendly reminder, everyone,
Tony
that
Campana.
we are streaming to some other people to watch in. Just to protect yourselves here.
Fastest cub north of Urbana.
Let's just go through the A block traffic real quick while Kevin's still getting all the shots set up. So, come on, hi, hello. Cole's going to read Trevor Plouffe's tweet, which has been refuted, but more so it's just another person pushing to bring baseball back. Gets us excited, even though it obviously may not be true, and we mentioned that in the copy. And then he's going to go right from there into a tweet from the AP, a graphic about the salary disparity between players like Mike Trout and Garrett Cole, who are making over $200K a game, and players in the bottom half who are making $10K. Hundreds of players are making that low.
Lenny, that's area for Lenny. We can't relate to that.
And then off that, we're going to chat about how the MLBPA is going to handle approaching this unique season when they have to keep players in mind like Mike Trout and Garrett Cole and the hundreds on the bottom end. So we'll have that discussion. And then at the end of the block, we'll go to a one-shot on Cole, and he will give the news of Salty passing away. We'll read a little bit of a bio for Salty. We'll get a comment from Bruce there, and Cole will end on an obit panel for the A block there.
Who are we starting with though when we come back out about the how do Tony
start at Matt and come back down to Bruce. So Matt, Len, Bruce to start.
Okay.
Okay. And Bruce, you can take 30 to a minute on Salty, whatever you feel is appropriate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thanks.
We can always adjust times for later in the show. It's not a problem. Cole, that green screen looks good behind you.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks
Nice.
clean.
So you're telling me my background didn't look good? I mean,
looks like you're coming to us in the studio. Okay.
I feel like everything to set up the studio here in the house, like where I do like radio at, is downstairs in a closet. So that's not really set up like, hey, look at this is the office.
Yeah.
And all my desk, like the desk to chair ratios, it wasn't like either the stuff was too high or it was too low and it wouldn't be seen. Heck here, so oh well.
Hey, Cole, can you give me a 5 count real quick?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bruce, 5 count real quick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Glenn, 5 count if you can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect, thank you. And Matt, 5 count if you can.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, Miller, I'll boost up Matt's audio a little bit here. Daniel, everyone else is set at, yeah, everyone is in sync for me. Daniel, Ferron, everyone's at negative 5 dB. I'll put Matt at negative 3 dB. All right, let me see. Matt, one more 5 count. I changed some audio if you don't mind.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Much better. Perfect, thank you.
Less negative than we are.
All right. Dusold good to go?
All set? You're going Matt first here.
All right, Cole. 5,
Yep.
4, 3, 2.
It's that time again. Yes, welcome to Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. I'm Cole Wright, and today we raise a glass to you, everyone out there celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Remember, celebrate responsibly. Now, today on the show, we're going to take a look at John Lester and his baseball future and his potential return to Boston. Wow, I don't know how that's going to sit with a lot of Cubs fans. Plus, we'll ask who's the most forgotten Cub of all time. But we can't do that before we introduce you to all the day's players. So let's get down to business. And he's a marquee sports network contributor. You hear him on 670 The Score. He's covered Chicago sports for 30 plus years. Bruce Levine back once again. And it'll be season number 16 on the call for our Cubs. Len Casper. I know Jim DeShays can't wait for you guys to get back to business. And I talked about 670 The Score with Bruce. Speaking of, it's Matt Spiegel from The Score, also of department store fame. And Spiegel's, well, we know they went the way of Weebolts back in the day. Now, guys, let's get back to business because we know that baseball is right around the corner. And if we listen to Trevor Plouffe at all, well, it could be back sooner than later because the 9-year Major League veteran, he tweeted out on Monday, get this, want some good baseball news? I just heard from multiple sources that on June 10th, spring training 2 will start. July 1st will be opening day, and all teams will be playing at their home ballparks. However, that tweet later refuted by Keith Law, who is one of the best in the business when it comes to breaking baseball news. Now, get a load of this. Now that we're all hopeful for baseball to get back to normalcy, here's what's expected to begin the latest to start a season in league history. Now, some might be looking forward to it more than others. Garrett Cole and Mike Trout, we know those guys handsomely compensated. They stand to miss out on $222,000 per every single game that they miss. Now, look at this. Here's the bottom half. More than 250 guys will lose $25,000 per game, 320,000, and close to 400 will lose $10,000 per game. Now, gang, we know that Mike Trout and Garrett Cole, they're secure when it comes to their dollars and their years contractually, but when you take a look at some of the other guys, not the same case. Now, Matt, if you're Tony Clark and the Players Union, how do you represent players on both sides of the spectrum?
Well, it's going to be a big challenge because you had about 951 players who are making 25,000 per game or less. While that sounds like a lot to us, you've got 188 guys making upwards of 75K or 100K or 150 up to Garrett Cole's 222. So you'd think that the rank and file would rule in terms of what Tony Clark and the MLBPA will be listening to, but we all know they listen to the big guys. Here's what we know for sure. It would be a public relations disaster for the players to come off like they are unwilling to sacrifice to get baseball back. And I suspect that MLB will use that against them. It'll look bad for the owners if they're squabbling too, but I fear for the players if they really get so stubborn that they push back really hard because no one wants to see that.
You know, the first thing is I think Trevor Plouffe is pretty close to what realistically a season will probably look like. The dates are probably not quite specific, but I do think mid to late June to start spring training, which I think will probably be in each team's home city with a regular season hopefully starting in July. That's the easy part. As I've said, I think on every appearance I've made on Cubs 360, the biggest obstacle beyond literally the health and just setting it all up is the money. And the players here are everything. Yes, the game matters a lot, but you can't have Major League Baseball without Mike Trout and Clayton Kershaw and guys like that. So they matter a lot. The other thing is they're on the front lines here. They're the ones who will be participating and I suppose kind of taking those first steps into the deep end of the pool as we get out of this shutdown and pandemic. So I am very sympathetic to their cause. They believe they've already made a deal with Major League Baseball on what they will get paid. Major League Baseball is going to say, hey, we're not going to have revenue from tickets. We're not going to have concessions. We're not going to have parking. With no fans involved, we will not have nearly the revenue. So I do think the players are going to have to give in. And as Matt said, he's totally right. It's not about the rank and file. Ultimately, it's going to be the Adam Wainwrights, the Clayton Kershaws, the John Lesters, the Jason Haywards, guys who've been in the league a long time, who've already made their money, and they're going to try to balance the let's not set a precedent here by giving in, but also we want to play and we'll do everything we can to make it happen.
I'm with Len here. I believe that if there's going to be a season, spring training will start sometime, like Plouffe said, like Len said, the first to the middle of June, have a month of spring training, and then we'll start the regular season in early July. But there's two major obstacles right now. Number one is preferred medical uh, help for Major League Baseball players and baseball personnel. That can't happen. Okay, everybody's going to have the same type of medical ability to go and get testing properly on the same level as the players get. We can't see a preference for major league players or athletes or people in sports. Number two, it's been agreed upon between the owners and the players that the players will get a prorated amount. But that agreement was based only on fans in the stands. Now the owners are saying we need a different type of sliding scale because there will not be fans in the stands. So it won't be prorated to the exact amount of money they made. That's the big fight going on right now. And that's what's going to be a determining factor as to when an agreement is made.
Matt, is it incumbent on the stars, the guys like Garrett Cole, like Mike Trout, to think back to the days when they were making league minimum to push this thing forward? Because I know some of the guys that are missing out on some smaller monetary sums, it may not be as big of a deal to the stars, but those guys need that money.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They're also called upon, they believe, to pick everyone up, to pull everyone up to their level. So that's why you've got Scott Boras and others who are going to be advising these guys. And I think they're going to dig in as much as they can because, like Len said, they are everything. The players are everything. And the owners are going to have to bend at some point if they want them back. We caught a glimpse of what their argument is going to be when Scott Boras was on with Bruce and myself on The Score a couple of weeks ago. He filibustered skillfully that the MLB postseason revenue is all going to ownership, all of it. So why should the players give in when they have less regular season when the owners are getting the full postseason revenue? So they're ready to dig in and stay where they are.
I think guys like Mike Trout certainly can give in, and if they do, that would be great and fine. But I will be the last person to criticize Mike Trout, who I believe will be underpaid until the day he retires. If he doesn't want to take one penny less than what he makes, I am completely fine with that. It's always easy to spend other people's money. When it comes to you and what you've already accomplished and negotiated, it's a lot trickier to do. I would say one last thing. Scott Boras will have a big impact on this. You go back to Marvin Miller, Donald Fair. A lot of this, guys, is leadership, not just from the players, but the head of the union, Tony Clark. Some of it's going to be the commissioner, and it's going to be their ability to get everybody to agree on something that is going to be very difficult for. One last thing. This year, I could see the players saying, we'll take a little bit of a pay cut. We've got a CBA coming up, and we're going to hammer you for this. So if you agree to this in 2 years, we'll agree to this now. Could be interesting.
All right, well, let's switch gears just a little bit, guys, because we have some sad news to bring you here today. Our Cubs family mourning the loss of Eldred Saltwell, who passed at 96 years old, now more affectionately known as Salty. He passed from an illness unrelated to COVID-19. Now, he was the Cubs GM back in 1976, and he spent 30 years with the Chicago Cubs organization. And Bruce, I ask you, how would you describe Salty's legacy with the Chicago Cubs?
Well, he did just about everything in the organization. Eventually, in 1976, Mr. Wrigley turned to him and asked him to be the general manager for a year. That wasn't his ballywick. That wasn't really in his in his area. But he did it for a year because he was a true company guy and a terrific guy to deal with. Great personality, really smart guy, a Park Ridge native for over 60 years, a great family, just a wonderful baseball man. And he will be missed. He was always at the ballpark, always there to add encouragement, have something good to say. Baseball wise, that wasn't it. He was, in so many other departments, but he was a fixture there for 50 years. And he personally was instrumental in helping me get started and giving me some information as I started my career. So terrific guy, terrific family. To the Saltwell family, we wish them nothing but the best, and our condolences to them.
Absolutely. Thank you there, Bruce. And tough loss for everyone involved. And our family to theirs, we mourn the loss of Eldred Salty Saltwell. We're going to have to redo that at the back end.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's an easy
I'm
cover.
sorry. I tried to mute my mic. My voice is scratchy today.
It's all right. We took it from a one shot, so just take it from Bruce is talking back to you.
Yep. All right.
We'll go on you.
Yep. 3, 2, 1. Tough loss. Thanks, Bruce. And we here at Cubs 360 mourn the loss of Salty Saltwell, and we send condolences from our family to his.
All right, good A block there. Good thoughts on everyone talking about how a lot of it's got to come from the veteran leadership, even though they've made their money. For this B block, reminder at the end, Cole, we're gonna just promote that Lester is going to be on General Admission, which is Len's podcast with JD, and he's also going to be on Off the Mound. And the podcast is on Thursday, and Off the Mound is Friday. Just as a little reminder before we go to the bum.
You know, the other thing the players can do, because this could go into 2021. There's no guarantee we'll have fans next spring. They can agree to take a pay cut this year, but next year, because I'm not convinced yet this isn't going to last more than a year. This is going to be really tricky.
Yeah, because everybody's going back outside. And so death rates are going to go up. Yay.
But on a positive note,
Yeah, right.
I agree with the thought, though. If they've got to hammer it all, the players, give in now and get something much bigger when the CBA pops up. Let's go.
yeah, nobody
Yeah.
wants to look greedy though now. Bad time to look greedy.
Right, but they could spin it.
Well, the only thing though is Boris doesn't care about looking greedy, and he's able, as Matt said, he's able to spin it in a way. So I think it's going to be really fascinating.
All right, so B block traffic. We're starting on a VO of Lester, Cole.
Yep.
And then we're bringing into the group. Will John Lester be on the Cubs in 2021?
Here we go. Start with.
I saw the article. We can start with Len. We'll go Len, Bruce, Matt. He went on a WEEI interview in Boston, just talking about a lot of his uncertainty. So try to keep it to like a minute here each. And our out bump is teasing the Reds move this offseason, and are they for real? Dusold, are you good for the B block here?
Yeah, stand by, Rob. Can I just get a 5 count from you, Cole? We just tweaked something audio-wise. I just want to make sure it's all.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everyone can see the messages, by the way, right? It was smooth first block. Just want to make sure. Okay, sweet. Yep. Kevin, whenever you're ready, just throw a one shot on Cole, please.
Let's come back on this VO, then back on the 4 shot.
Yep.
Yep.
1 second, Cole. Dusold, just give me a shot when we're good on the back end here.
You want to start with Cole?
Yeah, are we all good on the sync from Riley?
I haven't heard back from him, but maybe no news is good news.
Stand by here, just another 30 seconds.
No, you're good.
All right, so good to go here, Kevin?
Yeah.
All right, Cole, I'll count you in here.
Yep, we're good.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, we're back. You're watching Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. Now, John Lester, he could be in the final year of his contract with the Cubs. Get this. He has a $25 million mutual option with a $10 million buyout as it pertains to 2021. Now, Lester, he addressed his future in an interview with a Boston radio station, WEEI to be specific, where he said it would be cool if he finished his career where it all began. That was with the Boston Red Sox. So back here with the guys, Bruce, Len, and Matt. And Len, I'll start with you. What do you say? John Lester, he will be pitching for the Chicago Cubs in 2021. Think so?
Yeah, I would think so. Actually, have a little inside information, Cole. We chatted with John for our first Cubs podcast called General Admission with Len and JD that'll air later this week. And he wants to finish his career as a Cub. He is arguably the greatest free agent signing in the history of major sports in this city. When you think about a guy who signed a 6-year deal worth over $150 million, there are always question marks, especially when it's a pitcher. He has maintained his health. He has won a World Series here, and he's really been everything and more than what the Cubs asked for when they got John Lester. I was looking at his numbers, guys, just to veer off the path briefly. If he can pitch through age 38 or 39, get over 200 career wins, he's got a great postseason track record. His career numbers will look pretty similar to a guy named Curt Schilling. I think Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. Therefore, if John can kind of compile a few more accounting stats, I think he would be right on the edge of that Hall of Fame conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you, Len. He has been a superior pitcher for the Cubs, and one of the major reasons why they won a World Series here in Chicago after 108 years. But just from his pitching and what we saw last year, we're seeing a guy that's on the downside. Now, he's going to hear this and things like this, and he's going to be out there to prove people wrong. The fact of the matter is that he is going to have to be precision accurate this year to move his numbers up. And more importantly, it's not about what he does, but what the organization does in 2021 with those 4 other guys in front of them, the Schwarbers, the Baezes, the Rizzos, the Bryants, with only 1 year of contract control left. And how does John Lester's money or his pitching fit in with what the organization and what the front office is doing going forward?
See, that's a great point, Bruce. Tell me what this roster looks like, what the salary payroll for everyone looks like in 2021. It seemed to me that a player of the profile and the expected salary of John Lester would be a match, but he did tell Len he wants to end his career in Chicago. Then he was on in Boston, and he did tell them it would be kind of cool to go there into Boston. So you've got to understand those feelings kind of both ways. I will say this, it's really just him and Marian Hossa as the greatest free agent signings in the history of Chicago. Those two are the only ones to come here with championship pedigree and then guide their teams to a title themselves. That's it. We'll see what Nick Foles does, of course, this year for the Bears. So maybe that'll be number 3. But really, it's Hossa and Lester, and that's it.
Real one quick point. He could become John Lackey next year or the year after. Hopefully with the Cubs, he could be the guy to do the 2-year deal, the $10 million buyout, add $5 million, go 2 years, $30 million. Maybe he becomes John Lackey for the last couple of years of his career.
And
Carlton,
Carlton might argue with you guys as well about a great free agent signing. But you're right, Matt. He didn't lead them to a world championship. Divisions, yes, but certainly a great signing on the south side of Chicago as well.
Yeah, it's all about bringing home that commissioner's trophy, and that's something that John Lester did. And you can hear more from him as he joins Len and JD on General Mission. That goes down on Thursday. And John, well, he's a glutton for punishment on Marquee Sports Network. He'll be joining Ryan Dempster on Off the Mound. That is at 7:30 sharp on Friday, so don't miss out on any of those. Now, still to come right here, the Reds, they've become contenders after making some big offseason investments, but we're going to look to unravel the mystery. How much are they really contenders? That and much more right here, next, right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
Nice, good block there. I love the Lackey comparison because he's pretty much going to fit right into
Nice.
that veteran. Maybe not eat a ton of innings, but
You know, the one thing that's so remarkable about John Lester is the fact that I feel like it's almost so far in the rear view now, but this guy's a cancer survivor, man. I mean, to be able to go through everything he went through and come back and still pitch at the highest level, like I'm not going to lie, when they made the move for him originally, I'm like, I don't know if his best years are even anywhere near close. I mean, all the things that he went through, and for him to persevere and just keep getting after it, unbelievable.
Agreed.
12 straight years of 30 starts is outrageous.
Dude, I mean, that's horse-like. That's unbelievable. That guy's a dog, man.
all right, for our C block here, this is our Miller Lite block. We're coming off an in bump of Zimmer getting ejected from our mystery game yesterday. So we're really trying to just not give away anything about the game coming up tonight. We want really people to be chiming on social media. So Cole, your copy should reflect that was yesterday's game. Mystery week rolls on Marquee. That brings us to our Miller Lite refreshing take. The Reds are the biggest mystery in the NL Central.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be teasing DJ LeMahieu Yankees. You may have forgotten where he started. More on that when we come back. Got to be a little bit quicker on this one, probably 40 seconds.
Who we going to?
Let's start with Bruce.
Bruce.
Go Bruce, Len, Matt here.
I can go last if you want Matt to go second because I'm gonna twist it a little bit.
All right, great.
You want to go Bruce, Matt, me?
Bruce, Matt, Len. Works. Kevin, you good to go? Sorry, Cole, what was that?
No, DJ LeMahieu was probably like the third or fourth best hitter on his college team that went to that covered him when he was in college. When they went to the College World Series.
Figured it out quickly.
Wow, unbelievable.
I'll count you in here.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, Don Zimmer getting heated back in 1989 versus the Reds. Surprise, surprise. And we carried that game to kick off our Cubs Classics week right here on Marquee Sports Network. It's Mystery Week. So, of course, we're going to keep it coming your way. And make sure to tune in tonight, 7:30 Central. And you can also follow us over at Watch Marquee. So we continue right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, alongside Bruce, Len, and Matt. And all this Cincinnati talk has me getting to our Miller Lite refreshing take of the day, because we know they were diligent in the offseason. And the question is, the Reds, are they the NL Central's biggest mystery? Bruce, I'll let you get things rolling.
Well, certainly. I mean, any team that spends, a small market spends $165 million in the offseason on 4 players, that gets your attention. And they have some fine young players in the organization. Now you add Castellanos, you add Moustakas, you add Pedro Strop from the Cubs, you add Miley as a veteran pitcher as well. This is a team that's certainly a mystery, but is it going to be enough to pass the big boys in the division? We'll have to see.
Well, what's fun about the Reds is that pitching, man. I mean, with those guys, with Luis Castillo and Sonny Gray, those are 2 of the best 20 or 25 pitchers in all of baseball to begin with. Now you get a full year of Trevor Bauer, which ought to be better. And as Bruce mentioned, Wade Miley, then DeSclafani is better than you think at the back end. But what I like the most about what they did is that those additions of Moustakas and Castellanos have pushed 2 of their young homegrown guys, Nick Senzel and Aristides Aquino, to bench roles. So those guys are going to be hungry and fighting for playing time, and that should help the dynamic with some of those vets that have come in.
Cole, you asked a very leading question. I love you, man, but, you kind of led me right into the Reds as the mystery team. I'm going to say they're the most intriguing team in the division, but I'm going to take you literally. And to me, the biggest mystery team in this division is by far the Milwaukee Brewers. And what I mean by mystery is they're going to have a new catcher, a new first baseman, a new third baseman, a new right fielder, and a starting rotation that if we just off the top of our head started rattling off names could probably only name 2 or 3 guys. So to me, the Brewers, who've been a playoff team each of the last 2 years, I think are a bigger mystery team. But yes, the Reds are very fascinating. I think they're going to be really good.
Okay, so intrigue and mystery, not always the same as we reference 2020. But when it comes to intriguing players, well, do y'all remember DJ LeMahieu? Because I know that I do. He was a Cub, albeit briefly, and then he became an MVP candidate with the Yankees. So who else rocked Cubby Blue that we may be forgetting about? We're going to let you know next, right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
Good job there, guys. Way to keep it tight. Gets us back on track here, so we have a little bit of time with these to have some fun.
I got to give it back to Cole a little bit. He's always dishing it out.
I like it. It's hard to have back and forth, doing it on VMix.
Especially here.
That's why I like. That's why I like doing it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good to when you know where it's going. It's easy, to throw in a little jab like that. It's nice.
I feel like I can't wait to get back to doing like regular stuff. Like, as if I had Bruce, and if I had all you guys in studio, like in the middle of a thought when you say something like, "Oh, hold on a second," where you stop
right.
and interject, and we can't do any of that, which is sometimes that's the fun of the game.
Yeah, and I would love to not have to text in the chat where we're going next, but
yeah,
someday.
What can we do though?
Yep.
We'll get it back soon enough.
So we're coming off a play at home promo, just generic, nothing specific you have to play off of there, Cole. And then we're going to transition to DJ LeMahieu was the #1 forgotten Cub, according to an MLB.com article. We'll have some still shots of him in Cubs uniform for cover there, and then you're just throwing it to the guys. And let's go Bruce, Len, Matt to the initial order from last block. You guys can go about 30 seconds each here.
It's an MLB.com article?
Yep, MLB.com article.
Okay. I'll just make sure.
Great, thank you. All right. Cole, 5,
Yep.
4, 3, 2.
Man, Ryan Dempster and Giovanni Soto head-to-head at Play at Home Trivia. You won't want to miss that. That's at 7 o'clock on Friday right here on Marquee Sports Network. Now, in the meantime, I don't know if DJ LeMahieu is a big-time trivia buff, but one thing is for sure, according to an MLB.com article, well, he's been somewhat forgotten. As you may recall, back in 2011, LeMahieu was a backup infielder who had 15 hits and 60 at-bats with the Cubs. And after that one campaign, well, Chicago traded him and Tyler Colvin for Ian Stewart. He went on to win a batting title with Colorado in 2016. And last season, Stewart was 4th in the AL MVP voting with the Yankees, and he was selected as an All-Star for the 3rd time. So that got our wheels spinning when it comes to other Cubs who have been forgotten over time. Bruce, who you going with?
Hang on. He said Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Stop down.
You're going to want to redo that. You're going to want to redo. Yeah. You meant LeMahieu.
Oh,
I just didn't want to start the segment over after we finished it. That's okay.
That's that's in the copy.
I do it all the time.
I read that. I should have.
No worries.
Good call, Len.
All right, thanks, Len. Let's reset on the one shot here, Kevin.
All good.
All right, here we go, Cole. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Ryan Dempster, Giovanni Soto, mano a mano, head-to-head on Play at Home Trivia. You can catch that one right here, 7 o'clock on the dot on Marquee Sports Network on Friday, so don't miss out. But in the meantime, I don't know if DJ LeMahieu is really down with the water cooler trivia, but I do know, according to MajorLeagueBaseball.com, that he's one of the most forgotten players when it comes to a franchise. Now, as you may recall, back in 2011, LeMahieu was a backup infielder who had 15 hits and just 60 at-bats. Now, after that one season, Chicago traded him and Tyler Colvin for Ian Stewart. Now, LeMahieu, he went on to win a batting title with Colorado in 2016. And last season, he was 4th in the AL MVP voting with the Pinstripes, and he was selected as an All-Star for the 3rd time. So, food for thought. I hope everyone here is hungry. It got us thinking, who's the most forgotten Cub? Bruce, lead things off.
I'm going to go with a Cub minor leaguer that nobody ever thinks of, and that is Josh Donaldson, a backup catcher at that time in the minor leagues, just being transitioned to play third base, was traded for Rich Harden back in the middle 2000s. Since then, he hasn't done much. Couple hundred homers, an MVP, now going to be playing for the Minnesota Twins. So he is my forgotten Cub of the past.
This guy's not necessarily forgotten, but you remember him more as a Yankee. David Krell once wrote, if Joe Pepitone were a car, he'd be a Ferrari. Powerful, Italian, and high performance. He was quite a celebrity, let's say, connoisseur of the nightlife, not only in New York, but in Chicago. Had his fair share of off-field problems. He replaced Ernie Banks at first base. He was a Cub from 70 to 73. He had a toupee that he called his gamer that he wore during the games. He was the first major league player to bring a hairdryer into the clubhouse. And man, how much money would I give to have a drink with Bruce Levine at Joe Pepitone's Thing, the short-lived cocktail bar on Division?
Oh, man, I love that. Well, I'm going a little more baseball-y. Long before Luis Gonzalez was a well-muscled slugger in Arizona, he was a live and lanky five-tool outfielder who would hit about 270, maybe 10, 12 homers, steal 9 bases, and play left field because he wasn't good enough to play anywhere else. And then he goes to Arizona and is part of a great team, wins the World Series with a walk-off, and it's 57 homers in 2001. I remember the feeling very well going, wait, that's Luis Gonzalez? And trying to put it all together. So, yes, he was a Cub, albeit briefly.
Yeah, Len wins the day, however, with Joe Pepitone, because anyone who brings a hairdryer for a toupee, that's definitely winning the battle right there. I thought you guys were going to go with Rafael Palmeiro or maybe Nomar or Jim Edmonds, but Joe Pepitone certainly is a straw that's stirring the drink right here on Cubs 360 as the most forgotten Cub. Now, our producers, they haven't forgot our off time because our time here, it has run its course on Cubs 360 as always. So for everyone at Marquee Sports Network, including Bruce, Len, and Matt, I'm Cole Wright. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great job there. 1 second, guys. We took a hit. We're just trying to see if it was on his on the ISO mics as well. We took a hit during Matt's answer there. So just sit tight for 30 seconds here.
The Thing is what it was called?
Yeah, I mean, it was very short-lived. Yeah. Joe Pepitone's Thing. What a great name.
That was awesome.
You said it was on Division, Russian Division?
Yeah, right over there.
Yep.
You could go there.
He was a
and
good
then
player.
afterwards
He's
we can go to the hang up.
3-time All-Star, 3-Gold Glover in New York. And he actually retired briefly as a Cub for a couple of months, I think in 72, 73.
It was actually why demanded that he go back to work.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are all set. Cole, just do me a favor and stick around. We're just going to have you read a couple lines real quick here.
You got it.
Just so we can get into the block cleanly from a hit.
No doubt.
But the rest of you guys are good to go. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good show.
Thanks, guys. Take
See
care.
everybody.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks,
Bruce, talk to
everybody.
you tomorrow.
See ya.
Later, fellas.
Dusold, just making sure you're still rolling on this. So Cole, that promo off the top, it played home is Wednesdays. I think you said tonight.
I said Friday.
Sorry. So yeah, play at home is Wednesdays.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have you redo that. It'll be easy cover. Just read from there to the LeMahieu, and we can pick it up there because the LeMahieu we have cover for.
Oh, my bad. I don't know. Why did I say that was on Friday? Isn't that Friday with
So I've done the same thing, honestly. Off the mound is Friday and play at home is Wednesday, yeah.
Is it 7 on Wednesday?
Let me double check.
Okay. Or I can, you know what? You know, I can just say catch it Wednesday right here on
Yeah,
Marquee
let's
Sports
just say
Network.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, so then just do that the welcome back, the
Into the
Demp and
LeMahieu.
G Soto, and then go on DJ LeMahieu, and then just lay
Yep.
out.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
And you can count yourself in here.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, can't wait to see that Ryan Dempster and Giovanni Soto head to head on Play at Home Trivia right here Wednesday on Marquee Sports Network. Now, until then, I don't know if DJ LeMahieu is a big fan of trivia, but he has been rated as the most forgotten Cub according to an article written by MLB.com. Now, back in 2011, LeMahieu was a backup infielder who had 15 hits and just 60 at bats. Now, after that one season, the Cubs, they traded him and Tyler Colvin for Ian Stewart. LeMahieu, he went on to win a batting championship with the Rockies in 2016, and last season he was fourth in the AL MVP voting with the Yanks, and he was selected as an All-Star for the third time.
Awesome. Thank you, Cole.
No doubt. Good stuff, guys.
Good job today. Appreciate it.
Likewise. Later, gang.
See ya.